What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Game Show presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my beautiful and mysterious co-hosts, Josh and John Luke.
Wait, which one's mysterious?
They're all you. We established this yesterday.
Jay complained about the lack of adjectives. So, Josh, I wouldn't describe you as mysterious. Your face portrays all emotions you're feeling. JL with that smirk down there. He's got some mysteriousness in him, but you got lumped in today. Guys, joining us today for some Fantasy Fortune is a very special guest. He is the managing editor over at Fantasy Pros and Betting Pros, the 2020 most accurate ranker on Fantasy Pros, and the host of the Fitz on Fantasy podcast. Pat Fitzmaurice, thank you so much for joining us today, my man.
Oh, gentlemen, thank you for having me. Big fan of the show. Excited that I finally get to play. So I've been looking forward to this all day.
We are so excited to have you on here today.
I will warn you, Pat, once you get a taste of the competition, you're going to want to come back. I promise you.
Oh, but yeah, especially how easy these two are to beat. You know, once you get a taste of just how easy it is to win, you're
makes you feel real good about yourself.
I mean, if I win, I'm probably going to want to retire and go on top.
Okay, so Josh, you heard that. You have to rig the game so we beat Pat, so he wants to come back.
Fair
on
enough.
the show is what we got to do.
Yeah. Redemption arc. We're all about it.
We got Craig in the chat saying, I think Pat is going to give the guys fits today with how good he will be at this game. Pretty good, Craig. You know what? That one was a double play. And then Jay said, Craig, give yourself a pat on the back for that one. You didn't know you were going to just get hit with all of these dad jokes right at the beginning, did you? We got Dave in here saying, I already love today's show, and it's 2:59 p.m. Eastern time.
We didn't even do anything at that point. But
he loved it.
You're welcome.
It was enough knowing Pat was going to be on here right here. We got Alex in here saying, let's do this. And Scott, what's up, Scott? Glad to have you here. Albert, so glad you're in the chat today. Good afternoon to you as well. And Jay Wall with his motivational quote, never limit yourself because of others' imaginations. Never limit others because of your own limited imagination. Only limit yourself because of your own imagination. Is that what I'm getting from this, Jay Wall? You forgot a sentence. Otherwise, there's a loophole here to make it non-inspirational.
Be limitless.
Be limitless. Mm-hmm. Toronto Dave said, big fan of hashtag Suit Josh. Yeah, we love Suit Josh over here.
That's trending on Twitter, I heard. Suit Josh.
God, I apologize in advance for saying this one out loud, Pat. When I was at Moe's today, they only gave me a scoop of the cilantro lime, and I immediately said, more rice, please. That one was a stretch. That one was pretty bad, Joey.
That was the worst one, but somehow
in the corner, Joey.
Yeah, Joey, you're in timeout for a little bit. Dame in here. What's up, Dame? Glad to have you here. Mr. Scampers, our favorite chat cat, is here as well. Guys, like I mentioned, we brought Pat on today to play some Fantasy Fortune. He's going to try to take down JL and I in a game while Josh hosts. But before we do that, a couple reminders. Number one, if you are not already following Pat over on Twitter, what are you doing? But you can remedy that right now. He's on Twitter at Fitz_FF. It's the first four letters of his last name, _, and then that game we all love, Fantasy Football FF. So make sure you guys go follow Pat on Twitter. After you do that, if you're already watching this video, that means you are on our YouTube or Twitch channels. If you're on Twitch, hit that follow button. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel at Front Yard Fantasy. It's the easiest way to show your support for what we're doing over here. And if you hit that notification button, the little bell, you can make sure you never miss another one of these streams again. And you would have been really sad if you found out after the fact that Pat was on the show and you just completely missed it. Like that bell can fix that problem, though. Guys,
that's a life-changing event right there. So hit that bell. Hit that bell, guys.
Guys, today we are playing Fantasy Fortune. Before we get started, I'm going to run through the rules of how this game is going to work for everybody watching. And Josh, I know you always forget, so I'm going to explain this.
Remind me, I'm hosting. I don't want to screw up anything.
So this is Fantasy Fortune. It is just like the popular game show Wheel of Fortune, but with a fantasy and NFL twist. Instead of spinning a wheel, contestants are going to be answering 50-50 NFL or fantasy-related trivia questions. If you get a question right, you will get to guess a consonant that is in the puzzle that is up on the board. If you get it right, you get to go again. Another question, another consonant. You can do this up to 3 times, but on that third attempt, if you get it right and get a consonant right, you will have 5 seconds to solve the puzzle before we move on to the next contestant. But if you do that, if you get 3 questions right and 3 letters right, you will get to bank all that money for the round. So that's going to go into your permanent bank instead of just your round bank. At any point during your turn, except after a question has been asked, you can purchase a vowel, $100 per vowel that shows up on the board. If you solve the puzzle at any time, that will end the puzzle for that round. You'll bank the money you've earned or a minimum of $1,000, whichever one is more. So if you know it with no letters on the board, you can just YOLO solve it and get $1,000 added to your bank. But
Simon knows that very well. He's the YOLO solver of everyone we've ever seen on the show, probably.
I try to YOLO solve. It does not always work in my favor. The person who has the most money at the end of this game, though, will be our Fantasy Fortune champion. And one last reminder for the contestants. So Pat, JL, and I, once a puzzle is up on the board, make sure we are in the private chat and not in the comments, because our viewers are usually smarter than we are and figure out the puzzle before we do. They're in there solving it well before we can. And a reminder to everyone watching, put your answers in the chat. If you get it right, especially before anybody on the show, we will shout you out. And if you get it horribly wrong, we will mock you relentlessly, especially you, J-Wall. So make sure you guys are playing along in the chat. You guys ready?
I feel like the people on the show have done pretty well compared to the chat recently. That I realized you changed your wording from we're usually slower than the chat, or the chat usually beats us, but we used to say they always beat us.
They always beat us. It's not always anymore. We're wising up. I think it's all the Wordle that everyone's been playing. It's made our guests smarter.
You jinxed us now, Josh.
No. I mean, I'm fine with the chat beating you guys, so that doesn't really bother me.
The chat's going to be on one today. Also, Kazin, and you're saying Josh got drip. Josh has drip indeed. And Sean saying, "What's up, everyone? Welcome in, Sean."
What up, Sean?
Sean.
Pat, you ready to play some Fantasy Fortune?
Let's do it, gentlemen.
Let's do it.
As all jokes aside, real fast, Simon and JL, they've gotten pretty good at this game, Pat. So you're in for one. So I hope you're ready to go.
I've not been practicing my Wordle, so I've not gotten into it. So I might be like at a disadvantage here.
You can
do you watch Wheel of Fortune?
I do sometimes, yeah.
Okay. I think that's gonna help. That's gonna help you.
Yeah. Also, right. Simon and I are terrible at trivia. So.
Oh yeah, the trivia part. We're good at solving the puzzles, but not at the other stuff. Scott said, "Why am I not on the show today?" Because you're in timeout, Scott. You're in trouble for that thing you did. You sent me bad bag advice on purpose. You guys ready?
All right, so yeah, we're going to start off the show with a toss-up. I lied to you, Simon. I told you we weren't going to do a toss-up today, but we are. The toss-up's going to be the only thing that's different about the show. This is just going to really determine who goes first. You also get 500 onto your total for answering this correct. The toss-up will work a little bit differently. A puzzle will show up on the board. It will slowly reveal letters. Pat, if you think you know what it says up there, just say your name. Say Pat, okay? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Easy enough. All right, so this will be the only toss-up we do, but it's a good way to get us started. So let's get into this first toss-up. It is an NFL player, and you will get $500 if you correctly solve this. So I'm going to slowly reveal the letters. Again, if you know it, just say your name, and you'll get to answer who it is. All right, let's start revealing these letters.
Pat,
who is it?
Amari Rodgers.
Nice. It is Amari Rodgers, Pat.
Ooh, that I saved you. That I saved you,
I think
Pat.
that I might have saved you a little bit.
It saved me.
So I'm assuming you might have gone Aaron Rodgers there if that I wasn't there.
I think I would have, yeah.
I was
So,
1 second away
that
from
last second I was a savior for me for sure.
I saw that
Nice
little
try.
hesitance. You're like, wait, there's not. Oh, I still know it. Amari Rodgers.
Luckily, we were sticking with the same team, so that kind of had me focused on Green Bay.
Yeah, so you wouldn't have been alone. People in the chat quickly saying Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers. It made sense. It would have fit, but it was Amari Rodgers. Great job on that one, Pat.
Very tricky.
Tricky.
Very
And with the
tricky.
recent news, everyone's thinking about Aaron Rodgers right now.
Pat, just real fast, before we move on to the next puzzle, Amari Rodgers, rookie draft pick for Green Bay. A lot of people kind of left him for dead because a lot of people were thinking that Aaron Rodgers wasn't going to be there for the long term. Now Aaron Rodgers will be. Do you have a little bit of hope for Amari Rodgers now that Aaron Rodgers is locked up?
Man, a little bit of hope. Like it takes time for young receivers to gain Aaron Rodgers' trust. And I don't think Amari Rodgers really did that last year. And I think there's a good chance they take a first-round wide receiver this year, although I've been saying that for the last decade. But I think it's actually going to happen this year. So
I'm with you.
Someone's going to leapfrog him. But who knows? I mean, they're probably going to lose MVS in free agency. So there might be some opportunity. I don't know if Chubb is going to play another year. There's a chance, but not really anything encouraging from him in his rookie season.
Has Devonte Adams officially been franchise tagged yet? Has that happened?
Think so, yeah.
Okay, so the tag is official.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the problem with that Green Bay offense, though, for secondary receivers. You think, oh, there's plenty for someone else. but they don't need someone else with Devonte Adams. Aaron Rodgers seems perfectly happy just hyper targeting Devonte Adams.
And they're just efficient when it comes down to it, right? So it's not like it's like a ton of targets going around every game. Amari Rodgers, I bet you he has some good games, and he has some games where he gets literally 0 catches.
Probably more of those than the other.
Yeah. But like Pat said, there are going to be receivers leaving, or I expect at least a couple of receivers leaving from Green Bay. So
and Jordan's got it right. Like a vertical guy like Olave, I mean, would just be perfection.
That would be sexy.
Yes, I am about that.
They could take Pickett now that they're going to be trading Jordan Love.
Hopefully they've learned. I hope they've learned.
Small hands are a good thing for a quarterback, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Stay out of that one. I'm gonna stay out of that one. All right. But Amari Rodgers also went to Clemson, JL. So you're a huge fan, right?
Yeah. Massive fan. Wide receiver 1 dynasty.
Oh yeah, of course.
Clearly.
Anyone disagree though? Does anyone think that Amari Rodgers is gonna have a breakout season?
No.
Maybe.
No.
I don't think so.
My Clemson bias has an end. It reaches an end at a certain point. The end is after
Clemson.
Hunter Renfrow and before Amari Rodgers.
All right, so we are going to move on to the next one. Are you guys ready to get in there? Albert,
Yes.
Lazard is a free agent, isn't he?
He is.
He is.
Restricted, I believe.
Yeah. And then, so is MVS, if I'm not mistaken. So if it's a restricted free agent, there's probably a good chance. And Lazard is a fan. If Lazard's back, I feel like he's going to be on the depth chart ahead of Amari Rodgers when it comes down to it. But I digress. Let's move on to our first, I'll say real puzzle. Let's move on to our next puzzle here. We're going to be starting out with Pat because you got that first one right. So let's do it.
Let's do it.
By the way, the chat overwhelmingly believes that Pat's going to win this game. 57%.
I don't blame him.
Who came in second, me or you, JL?
We tied 21%.
I feel like that always happens. I feel like there's the same people that vote for the 2 non-guests every single time, and then everyone else always votes for the guests.
Yeah, my mom.
And my mom.
Hey, you got
Our
this.
2 moms, 21% of the vote.
And they're convincing someone else to vote for you.
Well, and the funny thing is my mom votes for you and your mom votes for me. They don't believe in us individually.
Wait. Did someone say Hunter Renfrow? No.
We did say Hunter Renfrow. Truly Epic is the #1 Hunter Renfrow fan in the entire world, I think.
All right. Last name, same letter.
Yes, this is last name, same letter. So, Pat, just to give you a brief description of this, well, everyone out there, not just Pat, but these are
the entire puzzle is one single letter. You just have to guess.
These are 3 last names, and they all start with the same letter. Okay. So it's 3 different last names and they all start with the same letter. And here's another hint for you guys. They all play different positions. They do not all play running back. They all play different positions. So it could be a quarterback, running back, wide receiver. Could be a quarterback, tight end, wide receiver. Who knows? But hopefully you can figure that out. Pat, we're starting with you. I'm assuming you can't solve this, correct?
Correct.
So we're just going to go right into a question. Let's get in there. Pat, pretty much all my questions are going to be in PPR format, just to give you some context there. But last season in PPR, who scored more fantasy points? Who had more fantasy points last season in a PPR league? Was it Darrell Henderson or was it Javonte Williams?
I'm going to say it was Darrell Henderson.
I am sorry, Pat. It was actually Javonte Williams. You're getting a little bit of a taste of that, that Josh love. You know what I'm saying? Where I
taste of that Josh love.
Josh, never say that sentence to a guest ever again.
I'm sorry I said that, Pat. Forget I said that. Let's start over. You're getting a taste of that Josh hate. You know.
Better.
Pat's like, what have I done?
Woo-wee. All right, JL, let's come to you. Are you ready for your first question?
Yes, sir.
Who had more fantasy points in a PPR league last season? Was it Elijah Mitchell or was it Damian Harris?
I'm going to go with Elijah Mitchell.
I got you. It's Damian Harris.
Okay.
Damian Harris being the 14th highest scoring at running back position. Elijah Mitchell a little bit lower down there at 26. He did have a lot of rushing yards though. Simon, I see you counting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we're lost here.
You're not going to get that crazy. Simon, in a PPR league, who scored more fantasy points last season? Was it Miles Sanders or was it Devonte Freeman?
I know Freeman was the running back 31 in PPR formats because I wrote a trivia question about it not too long ago. And I think Miles Sanders was above that even with the injury, but I'm not positive. I'm going to go Miles Sanders.
I'm sorry, you were absolutely correct. Devontae Freeman was the number 31 running back, but Miles Sanders was way down there at 45.
It was with the time missed.
I got all three of you guys with your first question. I don't know if that's it. I love it. I love it. I'm very proud of myself. But Pat, you're in good company. You ready for your next question?
Yeah, we're flying out of the gates here.
I love it. Pat, my question for you is, who had more fantasy points last season in a PPR league? Who had more fantasy points last season in a PPR league? Was it Michael Carter or was it Devin Singletary?
Devin Singletary.
Devin Singletary is the correct answer.
What
letter would you like?
Now I'm done cheering for you.
Josh, I'd like an S, please.
He's going to take an S. Let's see if there's one S for you. That's going to get you $500 into your round bank, Pat.
Yeah,
you need $500 to buy a valve, so you're able to buy a valve if you would like. Or we can move on to the next question.
I'll move on to the next question.
It's good strategy. Good strategy.
Yeah, I like moving on right there. Pat, my question for you is, who had more PPR fantasy points last season? Who had more PPR fantasy points last season? Was it A.J. Dillon or was it DeAndre Swift?
I'll
say it was A.J. Dillon.
I am sorry, even though A.J. Dillon had a higher points per game, even though DeAndre Swift had a higher DeAndre Swift had played less games, okay? Played less games, but he was still the higher score because he was higher just on points per game basis. DeAndre Swift was higher. I babbled there, but we're going to move on to JL here.
I still have no idea what you're trying to say, but I'm ready.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Let's just move on. JL, my question for you, who had more PPR fantasy points last season? Was it Chuba Hubbard or was it Kenneth Gainwell?
Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba Hubbard's the correct answer, JL. What letter would you like?
I'm going to go with an...
You call him nerd?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with an H.
He's going to go with an H. There's no... Guys, we are going to keep on moving here.
We're killing it.
Yeah, we are killing it.
Question me.
Simon, my question for you is, who had more PPR fantasy points last season? Was it Christian McCaffrey or Tony Pollard?
That's a gross question.
I know.
That's a truly gross question.
I just want you to answer it, all right?
Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard is the correct answer.
Thank God.
Good job.
Yeah, he had to be. I was just really afraid that you were pulling a double trick there. I'll take an M.
An M as in mother?
As in Mancy.
I don't like that word you used to tell me which word it was, but I think it's an M.
Yeah.
There's no M. There's no M. Pat,
this is brutal.
Back to you. Listen, guys, I feel like we're going to start ripping some letters and trivia here.
Okay.
Pat, you ready for your question?
I am.
Who had more PPR fantasy points last season? Was it Josh Jacobs or was it Joe Mixon?
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon is the correct answer. Let's go, Pat. What letter would you like?
Nice.
An R, please.
Then take an R. There are two R's in this puzzle.
Okay.
There are two
Pat's
R's.
just single-handedly solving this puzzle for us.
Yes. Pat, you can buy a vowel here, or we can go to another question.
Let's go to another question.
Fair enough. And we're going to just stay in the PPR fantasy points. I am liking this category right now. Pat, who had more PPR fantasy points last season? Was it DK Metcalf or was it Tyreek Hill?
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill is the correct answer. Let's go, Pat. You get another letter here.
A T, please.
He's going to take a T. There's one T.
Not where I thought.
So, Pat, you have $2,000 in your round bank. You have not banked that yet. I do want to remind you of our 3 in a row rule. If you answer 3 questions in a row correctly and you get 3 letters in a row correctly, you get to bank that money into your game bank. And you get to solve for the puzzle, but this is your last opportunity to buy a vowel if you would like to do so, unless it gets through Simon and JL again and comes back to you.
Yeah, I'll buy one. I'll take an O, please, Josh.
He's gonna buy an O. I am sorry. I am sorry. I feel bad about it, but not bad enough to keep on moving. Simon.
Wait, it's JL's turn.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. JL, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
You're feeling great?
Feeling great.
You're looking great. JL, who had more PPR fantasy points last season? Was it Jalen Waddle or Stephon Diggs?
Diggs.
Diggs is the correct answer. Let's go.
Saw through the trap. I'll go with an... I don't even know what this could be. I'll go with a... I guess I'll go with a P.
A P as in Paul?
Yeah.
All right. There's no P. Let's keep going. Simon. Hey, buddy.
This is brutal. Has anyone in the chat gotten it yet, Josh?
Not fully. No.
Okay, but they got some of it. I'll take a question.
All right. Simon, we're staying with the PPR fantasy points. This whole round's going to be PPR fantasy points. Who had more PPR fantasy points last season? Was it T. Higgins or Tyler Lockett?
T. Higgins. It was Tyler Lockett.
It was Tyler Lockett.
Yeah.
It was
Man,
Tyler Lockett.
I'm really
getting you
screwing
guys
up here.
so good today. I'm getting you guys. So
Yeah,
good today.
this is brutal.
Pat, we're coming to you. You want to buy? You want a question?
I'll take a question.
All right, cool. Who had more PPR fantasy points last season? Was it Deontay Johnson or Michael Pittman Jr.?
Deontay Johnson.
Deontay Johnson's the correct answer. What letter would you like, Pat?
I would like a B, please.
He's going to take a B, and that is going to open up the puzzle a little bit. He found the letter that you guys were kind of looking for there. The B is the first letter of everyone's name. Pat, you have a really good round bank here. Would you like to buy a vowel?
I would like to buy a vowel, please.
All right.
Could I buy an E?
He's going to buy an E. There are 4 E's, Pat. There are 4 E's.
He's going to single-handedly solve this puzzle.
4. Pat, would you like to buy another vowel?
Yes. Could I buy an A?
You can buy an A. And there are 3 A's. And Pat, as you can see right here, there are no more vowels. So, Pat, what I want to ask you is, do you want another question or would you like to solve?
I'm going to have to keep going.
All right.
Okay,
all right.
2 of them.
So, Pat, we're going to stay in the PPR fantasy points category, if that's all right with you guys. Pat,
Sure.
My question for you is, who had more fantasy points last season? Was it Brandon Cooks or was it Jacoby Myers?
I'll say Brandon Cooks.
Brandon Cooks is the correct answer, Pat.
Nice.
Let's go.
Ooh.
What letter would you like?
This is
I'll
for
take
the
an
money.
L, please.
He's going to take an L. There are 2 L's.
Oh man, Jail, we're going to be playing catch up.
There are 2 L's.
Oh, man.
Pat, do you have any idea who these 3 last names could be, or do you want another question?
I think that's his third, right?
I have a pretty good idea about 2 of them, but I'm going to have
not. He got the B
I could be wrong.
and then the L,
Yeah,
but I think that's it. I think that he came
Okay, I
in
might
and he
have
got the
miscounted.
B's.
he got
Could be
3 on
wrong.
the last one and then bought a vowel, I think.
Yeah, it was 2 on the last one, but yeah. So one more question.
Yeah, I'm having a feather in your cap type of moment here. So
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe another
Who knows?
question.
Who knows? All right. In a PPR league, Pat, who had more fantasy points? Was it Mike Davis or was it James Robinson?
James Robinson.
James Robinson's correct, Pat. So you get
Damn,
this letter correct.
unstoppable.
You're banking this money.
I will take a Y.
You're gonna take a Y, and that's gonna be
Jeez.
2 letters for you. Can you solve what's up there, Pat? I'm gonna give you 5 seconds.
Oh, yes. Brate Barkley Beasley.
No, and you robbed $1,000 from. Like, you were gonna bank the $5,000 regardless. I was hoping at least one of us would get to throw 1,000 on there for solving the puzzle.
Man, I was drawing such a blank on the Barkley one. Like, that would have been
I
such
could
an
see
embarrassing
why,
whiff.
honestly. I was like looking at it and I was like, it's kind of, I don't want to really see Barkley, you know? But Mr. Scamper's coming in a little while ago and say Brayton Barkley. And then Jay finally put it all together. Brate, Barkley, Beasley. And then Kaysen also saying Brate, Barkley, and Beasley. Great job on that one. Great job.
I was
on that
really,
one.
I was
Chad,
really
just-
hoping that you wouldn't like be able to guess at the end, just so I could get that. But at the same time, I was like, gonna be no respect that comes with this $1,000 because you did the entire puzzle except for one letter, and I was just gonna swoop in and
Yeah.
be like, Barkley.
Rob,
It was
Rob,
kind
you,
of a feathery cap.
you think you almost had a heart attack, Rob. I mean, think about what a whiff that would have been. Oh, my goodness.
Well, like we talk about it a lot. Like people will play in the chat sometimes this, and they'll be killing it. They'll be solving everything. Then they come on, and they're like, "Ooh, this is a little bit tougher when you're kind of on the
Your
spot."
brain just
It
goes
is.
blank. and you just start thinking about the same word. It's really difficult on stream.
The Brait one, until that E showed up, I was so lost. I was like, broth.
Did you think it was a quarterback?
Well, no, I was just trying to like put anything in there with the R and the T, and then even the B
Yeah.
showed up, and it helped me zero. I was like, rats. Like, I was like, I have no idea who this is.
But
Man.
Pat, you killed the trivia. You absolutely killed the trivia. The puzzle wasn't working with you the whole time, but you ended up solving anyway, and you got a giant lead right now.
Yeah, we got some work to do.
Massive lead.
Speaking of the giant lead, let's get on to the next puzzle. Give JL
All
a
right,
chance.
fair. Let's see. Let's do this one. I like this one.
Okay, I like this one too.
So this is a phrase. All right, guys. And just to give you an example of what a phrase can look like, it's a little generic, right? Phrase. It is football related in some way. Things we've used in the past. That's a phrase. Playing Madden with my friends. That looked like pass interference. They are on the 10-yard line. We need a fourth quarter comeback. My first round pick ruined my season. So just think along those lines when you're kind of, so it could be a lot of football related things, right?
Yeah, just
So
think
Pat,
along those lines.
you got that last one correct. So JL is actually going to start for this one. JL, you can't solve, can you?
No, sir. I need a question.
You can? You sure? You want to try? I mean, you could take a shot if you want.
No, I'm dumb.
All right. So we're going to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to head over to team stats. So we're going to go to a team stats category here, guys. 2021 team stats. All right. JL, you ready?
I'm ready.
Who had more total yards last season? Was it the Seattle Seahawks or the Las Vegas Raiders? Total yards.
I'm gonna go with Raiders.
Raiders is correct. JL, what letter would you like?
I will take I'll take a D.
A D as in dad?
Yeah.
Right?
As in dancing.
Dancing. As in dasher.
Okay. I'll take another question.
All right. My question for you, JL, is who had more rushing yards last season? Was it the Los Angeles Rams or the Buffalo Bills?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with Bills.
I felt like that was a really tough one. You got it correct. Great job, JL. But there was a lot of separation between both those teams. The Rams 1,683 rushing yards. The Buffalo Bills 2,209.
Yeah.
And I think the perception, I don't know, for the Bills is like lower rushing. But good job on that one, JL. What letter would you like?
I'll go with an R.
2 R's, JL. Got to remind you, last chance to buy vowels if you would like to.
No, thank you. I'll take another question.
No. All right, JL, who had more points? And this is points scored as a football team, not fantasy points or anything like that. Who had more points last season? Was it the San Francisco 49ers or the Las Vegas Raiders?
Oh, I'm going to go with 49ers.
49ers are correct, JL. Get this letter correct, and you get to bank this money.
I'll go with an F.
An F is in Frank?
It's a bold letter.
It's a very bold letter, and it's up there.
Just
JL,
barely
I'm gonna give you
off.
5 seconds to solve. I don't think
I can't.
you're. Oh, don't worry about that wheel. There's no wheel in this game. Only fantasy questions. I'm still giving you
I can't
5
solve.
seconds. I just want to take a breath. Okay, you got it wrong. JL couldn't figure it out. He thought he was going to, but he couldn't. Simon.
Yeah, I
ready
need
for a question?
Yeah.
All right, Simon, my question for you is who had more total yards last season? Was it the Miami Dolphins or the New England Patriots?
Total yards, Miami Dolphins and New England Patriots. I'll go with the Patriots.
Patriots are correct. What letter would you like, Simon?
I'll take a T.
So take a T. There's one T.
Don't forget JL's money for doing
I
that.
would have absolutely forgotten, and I got to give you your $500 back. Good job,
go.
Simon. Would you like to buy a vowel or just solve?
I'll take another
one
question.
word.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
You know a word?
It's drift.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean that counts as a attempt to solve. Pat,
Okay,
are you
we're
ready?
moving
Okay.
on. I need another question.
I'm gonna just stay in this order. But who had more rushing yards last season? Who rushed for more yards last season? Was it the Seattle Seahawks or was it the Detroit Lions?
Oof, that's Man, I feel like I learned something yesterday that's really messing with my perception. I didn't know the Seahawks ran the fewest plays in the NFL last year, and now it's just bleeding into all of my other thoughts. So I'm going to go with the Lions.
I'm sorry, Simon.
It was the
is
Seahawks.
The Seattle Seahawks. They had more rushing yards.
I knew it was
tough.
going to mess me up, but I was shocked to learn yesterday that the Seahawks ran the fewest plays in the NFL last season. It didn't feel like their offense ran that slowly or was on the field that little, but I guess they ran the ball more than the Lions.
Yeah, it was about just under 200-yard difference between the two teams.
Checks out.
Yeah. Pat, we're actually back around to you here. How are you feeling right now? I think you look
muted.
great. I just wish I could have more volume in my ears.
You're muted, Pat. We can't hear you.
It's my.
Sorry
I've been there plenty of times.
Yeah, I've got a contractor here who was making some noise up there. So
I understand.
I was cycling through draft idioms in my head, and I'm drawing a big blank here. So let's continue.
All right. We're gonna stay in this category. Pat, your question is: who had more total yards as a football team last season? Who had more total yards last year? Was it the Denver Broncos or the Arizona Cardinals?
I'm going to say the Arizona Cardinals.
That is correct, Pat. What letter would you like?
I will take an M, please.
An M is a mother?
Yes.
There's one M, Pat. There's one M. There's one M in this puzzle.
Going to have to keep going.
I see there's a guess in the chat, and the people in the chat think they solved it. You haven't, chat. You haven't.
Suck it, chat.
What is that?
So next question, Pat, right?
Yes.
All right, we're set. Let's go to the rushing yards. Who had more rushing yards last season? Who rushed for more yards last year? Was it the New England Patriots or was it the Carolina Panthers?
The Patriots.
The Patriots are the correct answer. What letter would you like, Pat?
Let's go with an S, please, Josh.
An S. Oh, there's no S in the puzzle. No S. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I don't know, Simon. I don't know.
That is the last place I expected an M to show up, Josh. You really
I'm struggling to even think of 3-letter words apart from emu, which for some reason came up on our stream like last week.
Emu is the only one I can think of.
Hopefully that's not in the phrase. Hopefully
you don't have a draft emu?
Draft emu.
So wait, it's JL. You're up, right?
It's my turn.
If it's emu, I swear.
JL, my question for you is: who had a larger turnover differential? You know what a turnover differential is? You take all your turnovers, you subtract them from all your takeaways. Yeah, the differential. So who had a better turnover differential? When I say better, means that they created more turnovers
positive.
It's more positive. So who had a better turnover differential last season? Was it the Seattle Seahawks or was it the Washington football team?
I'll go with Washington.
I'm sorry, it was Seattle Seahawks. +5 compared to Washington -5.
Wow.
Yeesh.
Washington.
With Taylor Heineke at quarterback, that doesn't.
Their defense was poo-poo.
Yeah, I'll take another question.
All right. We're going to do turnover differential with you too, Simon. I hope you're okay with that. Who had a better turnover differential last season? Was it the San Francisco 49ers or the Los Angeles Rams?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's tricky. You would think like a Super Bowl team. I think it was the 49ers. Matthew Stafford was the king of the interception this year in pick sixes. So I'll go 49ers.
I feel really bad about asking that because like that's the way you should think about it, but you're wrong. I think you thought about it perfectly, but you're just wrong. The Rams had a positive turnover differential. They were +2 and the 49ers were -4. So which is surprising to me. I guess they didn't have, let's see, the 49ers, they had enough takeaway. I mean, they didn't have a ton of interceptions. They only had 9. They had some of the least interceptions in the league. Yeah.
Stafford it's knowing a little bit that's more dangerous than knowing nothing, right? Two questions
Rams
in a row.
Defense is so good that they're creating a lot more turnovers as well. Pat, we're back to you. How you feeling?
Not good.
Well, since I asked the other two guys a question about turnover differential, I'm going to stay with this category for you. Who had a better turnover differential last season? Was it the Indianapolis Colts or was it the Kansas City Chiefs?
I'm going to say it was the Colts.
It was the Colts, Pat. It was the Colts. Very good job there. Very good job. What letter would you like?
Since we've been taking a lot of L's on this puzzle, let's take an L.
So only right.
Well, you get a couple of them. A couple L's there.
2 L's.
Okay.
All right, Pat. You can buy a vowel here if you would like. Or we can move on to the next question.
Yeah, I'd like to buy an A, Josh.
You can absolutely buy an A, and there are 3 of them.
Okay. Oh, I got it all except for emu.
Now, would you like to buy another vowel, Pat?
No, thanks. Let's go with another question, please.
All right. He just wants to keep on moving. Pat, my question for you is who had more points per game last season? It's pretty much the same as saying points, but who had more points per game as an NFL team last season? Was it the Cleveland Browns or was it the Philadelphia Eagles?
Philadelphia Eagles.
That is correct, Pat. What letter would you like?
A P, please.
He's going to go with a P. I am sorry, Pat. There's no P in this puzzle.
All right.
No P. JL. Question?
All right. Yeah, I need a question.
Who had more points per game?
Come on.
Who had more points per game last season? Was it the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Green Bay Packers?
I'll go with Bucks.
Bucks are the correct answer. What letter would you like?
I'll go with I don't know. I'll go with a W.
A W. There's
Got
one
it.
W, Gail. There's one W. I mean, hey,
It's like there's no way there's gonna be 2, but all right. Can I buy a vowel?
You can.
I'll take an I.
I figured you would. There are 3 of them. You cannot buy another vowel, though.
I cannot.
So you ready for
You
a
said?
question?
Oh, because my money.
Because of your money.
Yeah, you don't have enough money. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll take another question. Oh,
What team allowed the fewest yards last season? What team allowed the fewest yards last season? This is not the team that allowed the fewest yards, but between these two, who allowed the fewest yards? Was it the Cleveland Browns or was it the Cincinnati Bengals?
who allowed the fewest yards, right?
Yes,
So better defense from a yardage perspective.
more or less, yes.
And it was Bengals, and what was the other one?
Browns.
Browns. I'll go with Browns.
Browns is correct, JL. Browns is correct. Good job. What letter would you like?
I will take a I'll take an N.
No.
An N. There are 2 N's. So JL, you can buy another vowel here. Last
I'll
chance
buy
to
another
do
vowel.
so. Okay.
Can I buy an E?
Yes, you can. There are no more vowels.
That E
He was hoping so much that there was going to be a vowel in there. There just wasn't.
Come on.
All right.
Just stalling.
I mean, JL.
I
I'm
wasn't
gonna
even
move on
saying
to another
anything.
question here. All right.
Okay, I'll take another question.
All right. Who had the most rushing yards last season? Who had more rushing yards last season? Was it the Tennessee Titans or the Dallas Cowboys?
It was the that's tough. I'll go Titans.
The Titans are correct, JL.
Yeah.
They're correct. What letter?
I'll take a G.
He's going to take a G, and it's going to be up there, but it's not going to help him solve the puzzle, I don't think. JL, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to solve this puzzle.
I will never draft CMC again.
You stinking idiot. I hate you. I've been sitting here with the puzzle since it was Pat's turn, and then you just have. I'm so upset right now. I feel like rage quitting this show. that is preposterous.
15 more minutes, Simon.
You stalled perfectly throughout there. I just have to commend your slow roll asking for a new question. That was top tier stalling.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He did a good job. While there was some stalling, I agree. I think it was within the parameters of stalling.
It was. That's what I'm saying. You did it perfectly. It was.
You actually
it was,
did. You're a great staller.
I will never draft CMC.
JL.
Do it the whole time.
I will never.
There were people with CMC last year in the chat room who had to be just going out of their minds, who had this from the start. Like, they're thinking it's going to be vowels in that word. No, it's CMC. I'm sure they
were thinking about it before the puzzle came up, and then it just.
Well, Sean pretty early on I will never draft him again. And like everyone was like, good job, Sean. Good job. Yeah, you got it, Sean. You got it. But that was not it, obviously. I think the first person to actually get it was Albert here. I will never draft CMT again.
Nice.
At the same
job,
time,
Albert.
Peaked in high school said, I will never draft Amy again.
Yeah, Amy.
Yeah. Oh, damn it, jail.
But it just came flowing in after that. But I will never draft CMC again. I'm sure you've heard someone say this at some point, right?
Yep.
Not me. I'm not saying that, man. I am.
Hey, I'm not saying it either.
I'm livid. That was heartbreak. That really hurt. I was fully convinced it was going to get back to me, but all of a sudden, JL decides he's a trivia genius, can get every single trivia question right.
As Josh.
Let's move on to the next one here. Let's move on to the next one. I want Simon to have a chance to maybe get a little bit of points here.
Yeah, get on
the board. This is a what are you doing category. You could kind of just think about this as what are you doing? I just did this for the first time last week, and the puzzle was running the 40-yard dash, if that wants to give you some context here. All right. So what are you doing? The one we used last week was running the 40-yard dash. Simon is up first. Simon, I see you counting there.
I have something that fits, but I'm not going for it.
I see you
I'm going to take a
question.
question. No, I'm going to take a question.
Go for it, man. All right, so I'm going to go to Fantasy Pros for this one. Pat, I hope you're okay with that. And I'm going to use their 2021 average draft position for PPR. So last year's average draft position, they took a consensus of 7 different sources: ESPN, RT Sports, MFL, Fantrax, FFC, and Sleeper. And they create an average draft position between all these platforms. So that is the resource I am using here. Simon, are you ready for your first question?
Let's do it.
Simon, going into this previous season, so 2021 ADP, who was being drafted higher? Was it Josh Jacobs or was it Justin Jefferson?
Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson was getting drafted higher. I thought that was a little bit of a tougher one personally, but good job, Simon. What letter would you like?
I'll take a T.
T. There are 2 T's. There are 2 T's, Simon.
Okay, well, what I had fit, but it is not right. Immediately disproven. So I'm glad I didn't go with that.
Never mind.
I'll take another.
I'm gonna ask you if it didn't. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Simon, I'm gonna stay in the ADP category for you. Who was drafted earlier coming into the season? Was it James Robinson or was it Myles Gaskin?
Coming into the season, James Robinson.
James Robinson was drafted higher. Good job, Simon. What letter would you like?
I'll take an R.
An R. He's going to take an R. Oh, crap. Yes, there is an R. There are 3 of them. And you have $2,500, Simon. Last chance to buy vowels.
I'll take another question.
All right. He's just going to go for another question. And we are staying in the ADP category. Simon, who had a higher ADP coming into the season? Was it Amari Cooper or was it Adam Thielen?
And by higher ADP, you're saying drafted first, right? Just we're going with the same. Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper was, Simon. What letter would you like?
S.
He's going to take an S. There is 1 S. Simon, you are going to get to bank this money. And I'm going to give you 5 seconds to try to solve this. It might be tough, but, there's some smart people out there. Some smart people out there. Shout out. Pat, we're coming to you. Pat. By the way, the chat has it. Got it way too early. After the T's. Or maybe before. I don't know. The chat freaking got it. I don't know how. But Pat, you're up. Are you ready for a question?
I am.
All right, good, because I don't know how the chat figured that out. Pat, coming into the season, who was drafted higher? Who was drafted higher coming into the season? Was it Nick Chubb or Antonio Gibson?
Man, that is close. I'll say Antonio Gibson.
I am sorry, Pat. It was Nick Chubb, actually. It was Nick Chubb. It was Nick
Oh, I would have gone
JL, we're
Gibson as
coming to
well
you.
there.
All right, question.
Who was drafted higher coming into the season in a PPR league, according to Fantasy Pros? Was it George Kittle or DK Metcalf?
Metcalf.
Metcalf was drafted higher. Good job, JL. What letter would you like?
I'll take a P.
You're gonna take a P, and there's 2 P's.
Okay, and then another question.
All right, I like that you're moving along a little bit this time. JL, my question for you is: who was drafted higher in a PPR league? Was it David Montgomery or was it Robert Woods?
David Montgomery.
David Montgomery was drafted higher. JL, what letter would you like?
I'll take an L.
He's gonna take an L. Yeah, he will. I'm joking. There's one L.
All right. Question.
Oh, got it.
Question?
Yeah.
Who was drafted higher, JL? Who was drafted higher? Was it DeAndre Swift or DJ Moore?
It was DeAndre Swift.
DeAndre Swift's correct, JL. What letter would you like?
I'll go with an N.
An N. There's one N. JL, I am going to give you this money into your bank, which puts you ahead of Pat, actually.
Woo.
And you get
200.
5 seconds.
I can't solve this. I don't know.
Simon, it seemed like you had an idea of what this could be.
Yes, I would like to solve throwing a perfect spiral.
Throwing a perfect spiral. It looked like Pat might have known it as well up there. Is that correct, Pat?
Yeah, could I have solved before getting a question on my last one? If I could have,
Absolutely.
then I'm an
Yeah.
idiot.
I'm
Then
sorry.
an idiot.
I maybe I
No,
should have
that's
mentioned
my
that.
fault. That's my fault. I've not watched Wheel of Fortune enough lately, so I forgot about
And to be honest, that might just be kind of our little rule. I'm not 100% sure if that's what they do in Wheel of Fortune, but Dame got this way too early. Way
Nice
too
job,
early.
Dame.
Like everyone
Nice
in the
work.
chat was like,
Dang.
"Holy
You know what, but-
Dame!"
We got a close
Damn.
game though, and I definitely
Dame.
think we have
Right.
time for at least one more puzzle.
What the hell, Dame?
Incredible.
Dame-
That's
Dame is
actually
IBM
incredible.
Watson.
Dame is IBM Watson.
Easily
Mrs.
best
That was
answer
impressive.
ever, Dame. Like
She has to have hacked Josh's computer or something. Absolutely.
that was awesome. That was awesome. But yeah, let's get into another puzzle here. And Pat, I want you to choose what the category is going to be for our last puzzle. Do you want us to do another phrase, or do you want us to do a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end?
Let's go with the phrase again.
All right, we're going to do another phrase.
Oh, these are tough.
All right, Dame, what is it?
Like I said, just to keep in mind, playing Madden with friends, that looked like pass interference. They are on the 10-yard line. We need a fourth quarter comeback. My first round pick ruined my season. These are examples of phrases. And Simon got that last one correct. So we are starting with Pat. Pat, are you ready for your
Let's
question?
do it. Yes.
Pat, my question for you is, who had more receiving touchdowns last season? Who caught more receiving touchdowns? Was it Mike Williams or was it DK Metcalf? Ooh.
Metcalf.
Metcalf's correct, Pat. What letter would you like?
Nice.
I'd like an N, please, Josh.
An N. There's one N. You'd think there'd be more.
Metcalf has a lot, right? Like it's a lot more than you would think. Like it's
12.
You were disappointed with his season. 12. Yeah. Like, okay. I knew it was a number where every time you see it based on how people reacted to his season, you're surprised by the number of touchdowns he had.
Yeah, I think he had 7 of them in 3 games. So
Actually,
yeah, they weren't dispersed all that evenly.
So that's probably why it doesn't feel like he had 12 touchdowns because he just had a couple good games for you.
Pat, would you like to buy Val or would you like another question?
Another question, please, Josh.
All right, perfect. Who had more receiving yards last season? Was it Stephon Diggs or was it Terry McLaurin?
Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs is correct, Pat. What letter would you like?
I'd like an R, please, Josh.
He's going to take an R. What? That surprised me. It surprised me that there was no R in this puzzle.
That's brutal.
That is brutal.
Okay,
JL.
interesting.
What?
Question. That is
Like,
crazy.
I was expecting there to be ours to pop up, and I know what it says. JL, my question for you is: who had
Josh is
more?
like, I spelled it wrong.
I
It
don't know how
was
to
a shout
read.
out Jay. He was like proud of Josh for spelling it correct. Pat, last time we played, I spelled something incorrectly, and that wasn't fun. Let's just put it that way.
I
What
thought
did
it
I
was
spell
funny.
incorrectly?
I'm sure everyone was very understanding, Josh.
Yeah, we didn't make
Very
fun of him
understanding.
at all for spelling
No,
it
no, I
wrong.
didn't get any heat for that.
Safety. You said Safety
Safety
instead
instead
of
of
safety.
safety. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. The first
Yes.
mistake I made since the first time we played this game, where I spelled position wrong, I
Posture.
spelled it posture.
Average
A lot of
draft
crap for that for
posture.
weeks. Average draft posture. It's always like
Let's-
a heart sinker when they like. Did
When
you
you see
spell
it.
this right? Yeah. Anyway, JL. Right, JL. Yeah, JL. Who had more receiving
name.
yards
JL,
last
right?
season? JL. Who had more receiving yards last season? Was it Christian Kirk or was it Brandon Ayuk?
Ayuk.
Ayuk is not the correct answer. I'm sorry, JL.
How is that
I'm
true?
sorry.
Kirk was another one of those guys that's deceiving in his
982.
season.
982 receiving yards. Christian Kirk,
Wild.
982.
Hopkins
Almost
missed some
1,000.
time.
Yeah. And so,
My turn.
Simon.
Yeah, and
You
I need
ready?
a question.
All right. Who had more rushing yards last year, Simon? Who had more rushing yards last season? Was it James Robinson or was it Tony Pollard?
Man, you're just hitting me with these Tony Pollard questions today. I'm going to go. I'll go Robinson.
Robinson's the correct answer, and it's a little bit closer than I would have liked to make it. So good job there, Simon.
That one was
Good
tricky. I will take a T as in
Take a
Tansy.
T. There's only one. What is this puzzle? I'm confused.
Josh, you wrote it.
I made it.
I'll take
You
another
know.
question.
I know what it says, but like,
It's all Z's and F's. I'll take another question.
Simon, who had more passing yards last season? Who threw more passing yards last year? Was it Russell Wilson or Jimmy Garoppolo?
Gross.
They both missed games.
Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo.
He's going with Jimmy Garoppolo, and that's the correct answer.
Okay.
All right. What letter would you
I will
like?
take an S.
There's one.
Oh yeah, we are cooking now. I will take my final question, Joshua.
Last chance of my vowels.
No, I'm going to try to bank this money. I'm going to try to get one more letter up there and bank this money.
All right,
Well, that'll
Simon.
put you in
My
third
question.
place.
Not if I get one more letter.
Nah,
You didn't know
it could be like a lot of the letters up there. You never know. Simon, who had more rushing yards last season? Who had more rushing yards last season? Was it? Let's go with Damian Harris. Was it Damian Harris or was it Leonard Fournette?
Leonard Fournette. It was
Sorry.
Damian Harris.
It was Damian Harris.
Yeah, that checks out.
Pat, we're coming back to you, and they didn't help you out much. Like they
Yeah, I put
got
two
some letters.
up there.
yeah, 3 letters, just only one of each. I'm
Take
assuming
some
you
big
can't
letters
solve
out of
it,
play.
right?
I cannot solve.
All right, fair enough. So, question you would like?
Yes, please.
You Yoda.
Question you would like? That didn't sound like Yoda at all. Pat, who had more rushing yards last season? Was it Ezekiel Elliott or Josh Jacobs?
Ezekiel Elliott.
He's going with Ezekiel. That's correct. Let's go, Pat. It's correct. What
right.
letter would you like?
I'd like an M, please.
An M is in mother. There's.
Oh my goodness.
Joshua.
Oh, that is just absolutely brutal.
Don't come at me. Don't come at me because of this. All right.
The R and the M.
I don't know what letter. I don't know what's on this puzzle. All right,
You
JL,
know what?
do-
I'm kind of glad I got that question wrong because my next guess would have been M, and that would have just been absolutely heartbreaking to
Oh,
get
that
the
would have
3
been
questions and then miss that.
All right, I need a
JL,
question.
who had more passing yards last year? Who threw more passing yards last season? Was it Patrick Mahomes or Dak Prescott?
I'll go with Patrick Mahomes.
That's correct. What letter would you like?
Okay. I will go with an. I don't even know. I just feel going to be in this.
Yeah,
puzzle
you're
somehow.
gonna bonk here.
I'll go with the P.
He's going to go with a P. Doubt it.
Oh no.
There's no letters in here. Okay,
Yeah.
it's all vowels. Everything left is a vowel.
Like,
but I'll
I'm
take a
looking at the
question.
puzzle now, and I'm like, okay, I get it.
You know
I
what?
get it.
I'm gonna buy a vowel. I would like to buy an A.
I hope
He's
this is a
gonna buy an
bonk.
A.
I will lose it. Damn it.
There's
So
4
that
A's,
takes some
Simon.
money away. But you know what? I'm trying to unlock this puzzle a little bit. Maybe it'll help me guess other letters as well. I'll take a question now.
All right. Simon, we're going to stay with the quarterbacks here. Who had more passing yards last season? Was it Derek Carr or Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins.
I'm sorry, Simon.
It was Derek Carr. Man.
Derek Carr. It was Derek Carr.
So
Pat,
you're,
not to
you're
you.
welcome, guys, for those vowels.
Pat. You can buy a vowel too if you would like right now.
No, I'll take another question, please, Josh.
All right, we're gonna stay in the receiving, the yardage category here. Who had more passing yards last season? Was it Ben Roethlisberger? Or was it Matt Ryan?
Oh. I'm going to say it was Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan's the correct answer, Pat. Matt Ryan is the correct answer. Good
Nice.
job on that one. What letter would you like?
Thank you. A B, please.
He's going to take a B. And there is actually going to be one B. There's going to be one B in here. Pat, you have $1,000. You can buy a vowel or go on to another question.
I'll buy an E, please.
And to buy an E, there are 3 E's. Pat. You can buy another vowel if you would like.
Let's keep rolling, Josh.
He wants to
Another
keep rolling,
question.
and I want to do the same. Who had more receiving yards last season, Pat? Was it DJ Moore or Jamar Chase?
Jamar Chase.
It is Jamar Chase. So almost a little tricky, but what letter would you like?
An L, please.
He's going to take an L, and guys, there's a
that's
lot
a
of
lot.
L's in this. There are 5 L's.
I know one of
would
the
you like
words.
to buy a vowel?
No, I'll take another question, please.
All right, Pat. My question for you is who had more receiving yards last season? Was it AJ Green or Hunter Renfrow?
Hunter Renfrow.
Hunter Renfrow is correct, Pat. I believe if you get this letter correct, you get to bank this money.
Oh, that's going to be rough for us.
G, please.
He's going to go with the G, and there are 2 G's. Pat, I'm going to give you this money. You're going to get to bank it. I'm going to give Simon $600, and I'm going to give you
No.
I'm going to give you 5 seconds to solve this, Pat. So go ahead. Can you solve it?
I cannot solve it.
Oh, but I don't think we can
All
catch
right.
him.
Well, we're going to
I don't think we
JL.
I would just like to solve because I am like
All
pretty
right.
sure I can't.
Lock in
catch
second
that
place.
here. I just want to lock in
You
second.
Thinker. I thought you were going to go for first and let me
I don't know
sneak in
yet.
with the second place.
We should join a flag football league.
We should join a flag football league. It's a little bit different.
Nice
It's not really
work,
NFL
JL.
related, but hey, Pat, great job. You dominated. You
Oh my
completely
God.
dominated.
Pat,
Solve that one. JL was able to get the phrasing. I could not get the "we should join" part of that.
Yes.
So,
You
nicely
took a
done.
commanding lead early. We flirted with coming back. Jalen and I both started coming back. And then that last puzzle, you just absolutely ran away with it. Pat, thank you so much for coming on today. Everybody watching, if you are not already following Pat on Twitter, go and do that right now at Fitz_FF. If you weren't already, come on.
Such a
And
good
if you
follow.
didn't follow him throughout his domination on the show today, then go and fix that right now. Pat, it truly was a pleasure having you on today, my man. I really appreciate you taking the time to come on and just absolutely obliterate us at Fantasy Fortune.
Simon, Josh, JL, this was a blast. Thank you so much. It's a shame that I'm going to retire after.
No, I forgot. We had to make him lose. I forgot.
No,
It's your
I'm just
fault,
kidding.
Josh.
This was fun. When you guys do the match game or something else, I'm happy to come on. So,
Beautiful.
This was a
Absolutely.
blast.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
We'll have to
Shout out
have
to
you
Jay
back.
real fast. Jay got it correct.
And shout out to Mr. Scampers for this answer. We should tear our collective ACLs.
That is
And
the
Herm
goat.
saying Pat is the GOAT for a reason. Pat
Herms,
with the
my
big
guy.
W. Hey, Pat. And And then Herm saying not following Pat should be a criminal offense.
I think it is
Agreed.
in some provinces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
And-
Andorra, I'm pretty sure it's against the law if you don't follow Pat.
Yep.
I'm almost positive. Guys, that is going to be it for us this afternoon. Thank you to everyone who watched and played along with us. And another big thank you to Pat for taking the time to come and hang out and play some Fantasy Fortune with us today. We will be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time for some more fantasy football game show fun. So make sure you guys tune in then. Until tomorrow, adios, everybody.
Trudy
Bye.
makes fantasy fun. Yeah.